We have observed on three distinct levels of management how managers develop and apply theories to improve their bottom line. But now we must ask, what makes a theory inherently true or false? To find out, I presented my findings from the Mazin time motion study to a group of executive MBA students, and what I discovered was that truth, in theory, is impossible.
Now keep in mind that a screen test was used in order to eliminate factors with eigen values lower than 0 in this particular case. So when we bring in the next set, and again this has been orthogonally rotated from the factor set, the data set from B, what we observe is from this orthogonal rotation a series of hits. The hits are actually the pink areas in this specific chart. And these hits are revealing some interesting information, especially when we bring in our last data set, which is C. And C was essentially loaded into this data set using something referred to as a Sheff test. And the Sheff test has exposed an interesting set of hits here. You can see how they're forming a little pattern, which is actually an embedded rail V in this specific set of statistical quantitative data.
So how do you feel? Do you feel in confidence in this type of methodological approach?
I'm sort of lost in some of your terminology here. It seems that your means are, in essence, justified your ends, and what your outcome was. I was sort of, in essence, that I was lost in some of your terms and your,
Yes.
How realistic is the foundation on statistics and factualities? How do you see that?
Well, as far as ends and means, I mean, we understand what my ends are here, essentially, is to get a new client. Yes?
I was just wondering, as I'm trying to grasp this model, this emerging V pattern.
Yes,
that's
the rail V.
Yeah, it's totally dependent on the order of the different sets of data, right?
Yes, and also how they're rotated.
Yes, so there's some kind of scientific background for the order in which they're in there.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yes.
What do those little green things mean?
Well,
What
those
does
are...
the pattern mean? I mean, if you were to rotate it over, or if
You get a different pattern.
What would that mean?
Right. Well, in this case, we got a rail V, but you don't always get a rail V. Sometimes you get an inverted M, which some people call a W. So that it happens a lot too. And
What does that mean?
well, it means something completely different. Essentially, an inverted M leads to a more drastic sort of prescription. Essentially, don't work with us. We don't want to work with you. You're hopeless. So in that case, I sort of present the data, and then I get out of there very quickly.